I'm Rob Duggar. I'm one of the co-directors of the Human Capital and Economic Opportunity Global Working Group. My main area of research is the capability of a society to raise children to productive young adulthood with an emphasis on the rights or moral dimensions of that process. For example, education is a key component of taking a child from infancy to productive young adulthood. Every state constitution not every, but most state constitutions contain a provision of an article which says that the state will provide an adequate education to all its state citizens. Children in a state which has that provision have a right then to an adequate education. Lots of debates about what adequate education is or what it's not, but there's no debate about the fact that they have that right. That right contributes to that state's ability to produce the quality of young adults that it's going to need in its workforce. That's what I'm interested in. I'm interested in what legal, statutory, constitutional changes enable a society to produce the human capital that it needs for the next generation or two. I'm an economist, and I completely understand and am wonderfully excited about all the work that's being done in all the dimensions of human capital analysis. What excites me about what I'm doing is that I'm not aware of anyone else who's doing it. I am attempting to get people to understand that it's possible for American society to survive without cars, and it's conceivable that they could survive without banks, but it's not conceivable for American society to survive without young adults. Just as we have new cars every year and banks are coming out with new services every year, American society is producing new young adults every year. And if you look across the whole spectrum of all the products that the American society produces, you end up with basically young adults being either the most important or very close to being the most important thing society produces. What's interesting to me is that in the economics profession, we have thoroughly researched the automobile industry. We know a great deal about the banking industry, but we know very, very little about the dimensions and the people involved or the companies involved or the ideas involved in the, so to speak, next generation industry. And my work is focused on documenting what's in the next generation industry and then how do we politically organize it. Because if we can politically organize it, what is quite likely is that all the people involved in the next generation industry, everybody from parents to Marine Corps drill sergeants, these are all people that are involved in raising young adults, getting them ready for life. All of these people probably have a deep visceral concern about the quality and success of their products. Just like automobile manufacturers really want to sell a lot of cars, people in this industry want their products to be very successful. So if that deep, visceral, genetic, ancient, generational commitment can be unified and converted into a political capability, the next generation industry will be the most powerful political presence in American policymaking. And we will then be able to bring about the legal, first to say the rights understanding, and then the legal changes necessary to enable the United States to have the capability to raise the kinds of young adults that the society needs in the future. It will mean that we simply are not losing so many young adults. As I mentioned earlier, this data, Defense Department data, indicates that we're doing, at best, 30 to 40% of young adults are kind of ready for life in their early 20s. We can do better than that, and we need to do better than that. And with the next generation politically organized and fully functioning, we'll be able to achieve those legislative changes, if necessary constitutional changes, to enable us to do a lot better job.